morning, Titans. Welcome to CSUF News. I'm Kush Parikh.
And I'm Erica Guerra.
The first thing in today's news is something all students struggle with every day, the pain of on-campus parking.
This is definitely relatable for most of us here at CSUF. Our reporter Talia has more information on this major issue.
As you can see, students and faculty struggle every day just to get a spot.
I feel like if I'm paying like $300 on a permit, I should be able to have a spot,
There are 3 parking structures and 5 flat lots currently available for students, in addition to the off-campus lots at the Brea Mall and local Every Church.
I don't think the mall idea, at least for me, I would never do it. I know they kind of added some benefits to doing that, but I don't think it was a great solution for everyone.
Students were not hesitant in sharing ideas to increase parking availability. However, it is not only costly but also time-consuming to create these improvements.
Building more space. With that new TSU, I don't think we really needed that. Would have been nice to have a new parking structure instead.
Looking into the future, we're hopeful that our campus will help us improve parking. For CSUF News, this is Talia Cantley.
Hopefully our campus will improve parking. Thanks, Talia.
The only thing harder than finding a parking spot is finding a place to live near campus. Housing can be expensive and scarce around here. We sent Janelli to get more on the story.
Cal State Fullerton is mainly a commuter school, but students looking to live closer to campus are struggling to find a place nearby that's affordable and open for leasing.
It's pretty much impossible to live on your own, and the availability, not every apartment complex has a space.
UCA apartment homes located across CSUF cost $1,500 to $2,100 a month, but no spaces are currently available for rent. Its neighbor, Noble East apartments, are cheaper, but only a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom are available. CSUF student Valeria Colmenares has tried other ways to look for available spaces.
I've searched up on Facebook pages for people to find roommates, and it's basically really hard to get people to live with you.
On-campus housing can cost $1,800 to $2,700 a month, depending on what floor plan and meal plan students choose. Second-year CSUF student Ariella Ochoa moved out of the dorms because of the high cost and now lives at University House. Ochoa doesn't plan on staying there much longer and is already looking into other places for the start of the next school year.
I've been looking at near areas like Covina, West Covina, La Habra, Diamond Bar. Those places kind of being less expensive than places that are closer to campus.
First-year student Melanie Gomez thought on-campus housing was too expensive for her and found a strange way to solve her problem.
One day I was going to the restroom and there was a sign that said someone was looking for a roommate, and it was a really good convenient price. So that's when I gave it a call. I searched it up and it actually was close to campus.
With Orange County's population rising, CSUF students' existing struggles will get worse as renting prices will continue to increase. Janelli Pedroza for CSUF News.
Thanks, Janelli, for that insightful piece.
Now switching gears, our reporter Sullivan has the latest on the social media uproar.
In the early month of February, the well-known app Snapchat rocked the world of its 158 million users with its drastic new update. Out of Snapchat's 158 million users, its main users are students. So I'm here reporting on Cal State Fullerton students to see what they think of their new update.
I don't like it as much as the old update. I think it's just a lot more complicated to navigate. I think it's more difficult to see not only your friends' stories, but your own stories. There's different things you have to go through just to find your own story, which I think is just ineffective.
Since the update, the stories are now categorized in the contact section, making them harder to find. Cal State Fullerton pop culture professor James Collison just spoke to his students about the update's effect.
Really, the big uproar has to do with the fact that people don't like change, and for their main demographic, this is the first time they've run into it. If this goes the way that other social media changes have done, there'll be the uproar for right now, but 6 months from now, you're not going to be hearing the complaints.
Cal State Fullerton student Hannah Fulmar also has something to say on the Snapchat issue.
Like how it's just completely like you don't see anybody's stuff anymore. Because of that, a lot of people have stopped using it, and so you're cut off from your friends and seeing what people are doing and what they're up to. So you don't want to use it as much. You want to go somewhere else like Instagram, where stories are available to see what people are up to.
From college classroom discussions to celebrity tweets, Snapchat has spurred a generational outrage. Snapchat finally put out a statement. Snapchat had intended to make it easier for the people and understand the concerns, but wants to push forward with the update. Snapchat must act quick on the new update because the outrage is alive and growing. Time will only tell if the users will stay loyal or jump to new platforms. This is Sullivan Long signing off with CSUF News.
Social media affects us all, and I'm hoping Snapchat will listen to its users' complaints.
Not only does social media affect us, but so do the communities around us.
Stick around and we'll be right back with a touching story after a few words from our sponsors.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back, Titans. Up next, Tanya has a compelling story on access to education for low-income families.
Thanks, Kush. Yes, many lower-income families are struggling to afford basic school supplies, and some groups are striving to help out where they can.
In San Diego County, 60% of low-income families do not own a book at home. Education Begins in the Home is a nonprofit organization established by Edward Becerra in North San Diego County that has given out over 53,000 books and has participated in over 150 events.
We're now focusing on elementary schools. We're providing 3 free books to every student that passes by our booth in as many events as we can attend.
The organization is ran by Edward himself, who goes and picks up the books from various locations, brings them back home into his garage for storage, and then hosts sorting parties where volunteers come and sort the books by ages.
It's busy almost every week, either distributing books or receiving books. People give him tons and tons of books, like libraries, and people donate things.
One of the organization's main focus is to encourage the literacy of bilingual books in children as young as 5 years old.
If we had funding, the bilingual books would be the only type of book that we would be handing out, because whether you read English or you read Spanish, you could read it and then see how it's written in the other language.
As the book donations continue to fill Edward's garage, the organization is always in need of new volunteers that will help continue its initiative.
I see a great future for our organization in putting books in the hands of our kids.
Education Begins in the Home is improving youth literacy in San Diego, one book at a time. This is Tanya Thorne, CSUF News.
Up next, Jenny is at CSUF discussing smoking issues on campus.
The campus of CSUF may look very clean looking from a distance. However, it is not hard to find abandoned cigarette butts, especially in front of the Humanities building.
Due to CSUF policy, smoking is defined as inhaling, exhaling, burning, or carrying lighted cigarette, cigarette pipe, or other lighted smoking product, including electronic cigarettes.
But CSUF is a smoke-free campus since August 1st, 2013, which means smoking on campus is a clear violation of a school policy. This policy is in effect 24 hours a day, 7 days a week within the boundaries that are considered on campus.
I didn't know that it was a completely smoke-free campus. I was assuming that there'd probably be spots to smoke, but...
So there are no exceptions, there are no smoking areas as some like to think that there are. There are some people that have kind of self-designated some areas as smoking areas, but they're not.
Also, even if you smoke inside the vehicle, it is still a violation if your vehicle is parked inside the campus, and smoking can lead you into some consequences or penalties.
We would cite them into Judicial Affairs, which is in the Dean of Students office through Student Life and Leadership, and that could affect their classes or their schooling, especially if it's repetitive. And if they've ever had any other issues, they could add on to that.
CSUF acknowledges that the use of tobacco product is a personal choice. However, to avoid the consequences and penalties and to make our campus free from secondhand smoke, CSUF encourages to avoid smoking on campus. And this policy applies to all of the students, staffs, and visitors on campus, including CSUF Irvine. Jenny Cho, CSUF News.
Thank you, Jenny, and it looks like that's all we have time for today.
Once again, thank you for tuning in to CSUF News. I'm Kush Parikh.
I'm Tanya Thorne.
And I'm Erica Guerra, signing off.